Move. Can't see us if we don't move.
Hey! We're recording the podcast! Shut up!
Good morning to you, wherever you are, because it is
Morning Somewhere!
for July 31st, 2026. My name is Bernie Burns, sitting right over there. She found her perfect beef. It's Ashley Burns. Say hi to Ashley, everybody.
I did. They heard us talking about them, and the cows decided that they weren't going to have it. And so last night we experienced Revenge of the Cow.
So we were up pretty late drinking, and it was getting dark, which now, as you say, about 10 p.m. was when this happened last night?
Yeah, I'd say about. So hold on, I can send you, let me look at our message history because I can tell you exactly when it happened.
Can I say one thing while you're looking that up? This house, one of the things I appreciate about this place is that this is one of the only places I've lived in my whole life where the gathering place in the house where people just gather to chat or whatever, like every party and things like that. Every other house I've lived in, it's always the kitchen.
Always the kitchen.
People just go in the kitchen and they just hang out in the kitchen around the counters.
Well, that's
even
where,
high school when I was
that's
at
where
parties,
the food
yeah.
be.
Yeah, but this is like here we have like a little living room. There's like two little living rooms next to each other. There's one that was more for ladies and one that was more for guys. And so we were like in
Historically speaking,
the guys' lounge area. And so we were in there. And then about what time?
it was 10:14 p.m.
We get a message from Ashley saying, "Why is there a cow in the front yard?" And I walked into where I could look out the window to see to the front yard. And there standing was something. You said it was a cow. I was like, is that a horse or is that like a rhino? What is that thing?
It was big.
That boy was big.
It was a bull. It was just walking up the driveway. And I was actually initially I was worried about it because I was like, God, the little robot mower is going over like a lot of sticks or something. It's very loud out there. I looked out the window and no, the robot mower is headed straight for the biggest cow I've ever seen.
It was massive. And you were worried because it was out. We have a road that goes in front of our house and it was close out to the road. And you were like, I'm worried about it being on the road. I'm like, I'm worried for the cars.
I was worried for the cars too.
Yeah.
A car hits that cow was bigger than any car it encounters. Either way, they'd both have a bad night, but dangerous to just leave a cow on the road at night, right?
If a car hit that bull, they would both tell very different stories. That would be the car would go, that was the worst thing that ever happened. The bull would be like, I think something happened. I felt something bounce off my back end.
Fortunately, we were perfectly prepared by having like a bunch of extra dudes in the house.
A bunch of extra dudes who had a bunch of whiskey in them and immediately said, let's herd the bull.
Because right now there's no animals in our pasture. And we're like, I guess we should put this bull in our pasture overnight because we don't want to leave it on the road. That's a terrible place for a cow to be overnight. And I don't want to just guess which pasture it belongs in because it would be really bad if we put a bull in the wrong pasture.
We've talked about this before. What's the cutoff in the evening for you to send a text to someone that you don't know? Like, or not someone you don't know, but like you would send me a text any time of night. It wouldn't matter. But like a friend of yours, I don't text, for instance, past 9 p.m.
9 p.m. is a pretty good cutoff for me.
That's weird. Is that like an antiquated like thing for us? Like you never called people's houses after 9 p.m.?
Maybe it could also be just there's a generation of people who don't keep their phones on silent all the time. I actually do keep my phone on silent all the time, so I don't care if I get a message whenever.
Yeah.
If it's inconvenient for me, I will have not like heard it, or I won't have got the haptic buzz because I'm asleep.
I have discovered in my life a group of friends or acquaintances that is a massive exception to that rule, and that's farmers. You just text 3 a.m. Hey, there's a leak, or something broke.
And they're like, I'm on my way.
The fence is down, or there's a bull in our front yard. Is this your bull? This gigantic bull. And
texting the neighborhood chat, like, whose bull is this at 10 p.m.?
And the guys are out front starting to herd it. And it was, we're not, I don't think, over describing how big this is. We can put a video of it, but it's always like scale. There's nothing to compare it to.
Well, to give you some sort of comparison, this morning, its farmer came and got it. And the farmer, he's about 6 foot tall.
Yep.
And he walked around behind the bull and you could not see him.
Right. This was a gigantic
So the shoulder
animal.
of the bull was about 6 feet high.
Yeah. I did, and also to put it in perspective, we talk about a fence being down. It got out somehow. We thought, this giant thing must have knocked
Just
down
like
a fence.
walked through a fence or something. They said, no, he just walked over the fence.
just stepped over. It's like, oh, you've erected a barrier. How quaint. Goosh, goosh, steps over it.
So we're out there, there's like 6 of us, and Finn decided to get involved.
Finn, we cannot, when we have guests, we cannot get Finn to go to bed.
No,
he sneaks around. Yeah.
He's one of those like extroverts I don't know how to deal with, where he just gets so energized by being around people that he's impossible to stop. In fact, after you fell asleep last night, I caught him downstairs with your friends.
I know. He keeps sneaking out of his bed to go see people. It's like he's really cheeky in that regard. He is what we call a social batteries go up person.
Yes.
He charges when he gets around people.
And
whereas most people, like, they deplete their social batteries being around people.
Right. And he was more than happy to go help herd the bull. And
I made him stay behind me, and I was like, look,
smart.
like I was like, every step of the way as we went further out, I go, like, stand behind this rock wall. Now you can move up, because he had a flashlight. And I said, when he was with me and we were starting to move the bull, I said, if something happens and this bull moves in our direction, I'm literally going to grab you and I'm going to throw you over that fence.
Right.
So be ready for that. Okay?
Just tuck and roll.
And he was like, do it. But so we went up to the tree line. So basically to describe this, there's like a road that goes by our pasture, and the other side of the road is like a tree line that then leads up to another pasture, but no fence. So we were like trying to find this gigantic bull in the trees, but we could hear it because it was like that scene in Jurassic Park with the glass of water with the ripples. It's like doosh every now and then you heard like tree branches snapping, not on the ground, but it was like moving
on
through
the
trees. Yeah.
It was breaking off the branches above. It was crazy. So we finally find this bull.
And not everybody had seen it by this point, right? So we got some of the guys, out of the room, got them to put down their beer, come outside. So not everyone had seen it. So some of the guys were positioned on the road, ready to intercept as we moved it out of the tree line. Boy, that was a test of courage. When it came out of the tree line, Jeff, he was standing there between the gate. Like, he was supposed to stop it from going down the road past the gate. When it came out of the tree line, he just goes, holy shit.
So we're up there behind it going, hey, buddy. Hey, we got a nice pasture for you for the night. Got like sticks and just kind of like beating at the grass. Not a lot you can do to intimidate a bull that's the size of a truck.
It's choice, right?
It was a choice. It was like, yeah, okay, I guess so. He looked tired. Like he just kind of wanted to go to sleep, but he wasn't sure where bed was.
This was such a great nighttime activity, like nightcap activity, like herding this bull in. It was super easy.
It was astonishingly easy.
Yeah.
He just goes, well, okay, I guess. And he just starts walking the way that we were gently directing him. And then he sees the pasture gate open and goes, yeah, I can work with that. And just took himself straight into the pasture. It was fabulous.
And because we don't have anything that pasture, the grass is a little bit longer. And he just like beat this path through it instantly. There was
you
a
could
path.
could see the grass having parted, and it didn't recover after he went by.
But then he spent the night with us, and then he was here in the pasture, and then I guess went home sometime this morning. And
you'll be happy to know, apparently this bull's like a pet.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
So that's probably the other part of it is we got very lucky. We got the nice pet bull.
So that happens sometimes with livestock where, these are working herds and flocks and things. And then sometimes one of them just gets designated as a pet and doesn't enter the livestock cycle, let's just say, right?
Yes.
And those happen from time to time. Like on the social media stuff, Lamington was one of those sheep where Lamington was like, he was a pet sheep. And then
he'd been designated pet as opposed to like regular flock.
Now, he was super friendly as a lamb, and it just continued until he got much older and grew massive horns and was still friendly. And then suddenly the interactions
then it becomes a problem.
were very different when Lamington runs across the field towards you.
So if anyone sees Zuckerberg, let him know we found the perfect beef.
Yeah, what's he doing? He's over there in San Francisco. He just needs to come hang out in our front yard. The perfect beef wanders up. Did we manifest that? We were talking about perfect beef?
We were talking about it yesterday.
Yeah.
And then the perfect beef was like, I'm right here, baby.
I mean, honestly, if we stole that cow, and took it for ourselves, how long do you think we could have survived living off of that cow?
Oh my God. That cow, well, assuming that like it was time locked, right? And it's not going to like spoil because we need a couple villages to eat the cow otherwise.
You would, yeah.
Years.
Yeah. Or we could have just like invested in it and then put a saddle on it and rode it into battle and like taken all the food for the rest of our lives.
Unless someone came by the Netflix offices and stole him.
Yeah. So the bull went home with the farmer sometime this morning. And we don't know actually where he went because I don't know this farmer in particular. I assume later today, he will be attacking Tokyo. So be on the lookout for that. God, it's crazy. Well, so we're not over describing the scale of this thing. It was
he's
everybody
a big
was
guy.
like, "Holy shit, is that a cow?" Because it was in the dark too. I don't think the pictures or the video will do it justice, but that's just the way scale works.
We'll see if we can track him down and do a photo shoot.
Fucking big boy.
Big boy. But
he was probably 6 feet tall at the shoulder. I felt like mass. I didn't know cows got that big.
I didn't know they do either. But you get close to a cow, and then you suddenly realize that they're actually quite large.
And you're leading the charge, by the way. You're in the dark in the tree line with sticks.
With a stick going, "Hey, big guy."
And I was like,
"Got a nice pasture for you."
And your son's gonna watch you get launched into the air. Did you see the video? Like a week ago from the old dude who was in Yellowstone, your neck of the woods up in America, and he got launched by a bison. And it's kind of the thing usually where you're like, oh, these dumb tourists getting around these bison, these wild animals. But he really did everything right. And the bison just said, nope, you're getting hit.
Yeah, there's sometimes, especially like bison can be weird, right? Because first of all, they're not cows. Right. And people are like, well, they look a lot like cows. They're not cows. They're much more aggressive than cows.
There was an effort in the early colonial times or the frontier where there was a major effort to domesticate buffalo. And they were just like, this is never going to work. It's not going to happen.
Right. It's like zebras in Africa. It's like, is horse shaped, is not horse.
Right. Exactly.
There's a reason that even though there are so many zebras, or zebras as they're called here, they are not ridden.
No. Yeah. And it was, So it was quite the adventure last night. It was a lot of fun way to end it. And of course, I love having guests here when stuff like that happens because it's just like can't possibly predict that. Where's the old social media video that we put up for when we wrangled up all the ducks that were just dumped out here?
I think we might have it on Instagram.
Is that where it is?
It might also.
But where on Instagram?
It might also. I think we might have put it on YouTube as a short.
We've kind of moved away, but that would be on the Morning Summer channel, which we've almost like completely moved away from.
Probably.
We'll figure it out. See, I'm sure somebody can find it.
Stuff's around.
Find it somewhere, anywhere. So basically, we're just like stealing a bunch of animals from different places. We're acquiring cows and ducks and all that.
But hey, once again, Netflix, I want to be clear, we didn't do it. You heard about the movie that went missing from Netflix, and now this movie company is suing Netflix because
it went missing?
It was, yes. So it got stolen from Netflix, and making this like extra appropriate. It's a Nick Cage film.
That's awesome. Is it really?
Yeah. So this company, they have this like, I think it's a World War II thriller film that Netflix had expressed interest in buying it. And so someone dropped off a hard drive with this film on it at Netflix's office. And they just went like, hey, erase this when you're finished with it. And then let us know, I guess. And then 10 days later, Netflix was like,
that's not good.
Yeah, a bunch of hard drives got stolen, and it was one of those.
Oh, yikes. That sucks, man.
Yeah, it does. But Netflix is also like, but that's not the way you share a film that you're giving someone like a screener of. Like there are industry standards for how you basically lend someone a screener. And so we're claiming no liability. You just gave us an unencrypted movie on a hard drive.
Right. That's kind of weird. That's like old school, like giving someone a reel of film. Like when you said it went missing, usually something gets leaked and it's just duplicated, but this is like stolen and gone.
This is like on a hard drive and someone took it from their office. It was apparently with a bunch of other hard drives that were blank. So I don't know if it somehow got picked up with a bunch of like other hard drives accidentally as something, or if this was someone just saw a bunch of hard drives and decided to take a chance. So far, the movie hasn't like popped up on piracy sites or anything yet. So it's hard to say what's going on. But they're
going to be digging for it in the local garbage dump, like the Bitcoin guy.
Or like next to E.T. But the distribution company is now suing Netflix for like $100 million because they're like, we can't sell this to anyone now.
I love it too. It's like, it's a Nick Cage movie. It would have made so much money, right? Now that we don't get to realize its full potential, this would have been the banger that made $500 million. Netflix, you fucked it up.
But it is like, it's interesting because because they're going, well, it's your fault. You had it and you lost it. And Netflix is like, well, you shouldn't have given it to us like that anyway. You didn't.
Well, then you should have taken it like that.
You didn't secure it. Well, I guess they just like dropped it off. What do you do? Drop it off with the receptionist? I don't know. Was there a porch piracy incident? Did someone just like see a bunch of hard drives and go, I'll take that?
This sounds like a good movie that Nick Cage should be in.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I know this is actually probably better marketing for this movie than it could possibly have in any other way. The movie, by the way, called Fortitude. Since we're marketing the movie, we should say its name.
Yeah, it is good marketing for the movie. So you're saying it's a World War II movie?
Yeah, I think it's a World War II thriller about someone who uses like unusual methods to confuse the Nazis.
Unusual methods to increase the quality of beef. See, I was hoping Nick Cage would do like the follow-up to Social Network, which would be the biopic about Mark Zuckerberg trying to make the perfect beef. That'd be awesome.
In a world where beef wasn't perfect,
One man.
sought to change that.
Nick Cage in Perfect Beef. Have you seen the Spider-Man Noir? I'm probably not saying that right.
No, I haven't.
To be good.
I haven't. I've heard it's really great. I skipped straight to Spider-Man, which I went to see without you yesterday. And I gotta say, when it warrants it, those theaters can pack themselves.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, by the time I got there, because I was seeing the movie just like if I could catch it, I had to take the car in for a service. And so then I just was like, drop it off, go see a movie if I can get in. And by the time I got there, a few minutes before the movie started, there were only individual seats left. I ended up next to a pack of like 10 teenage boys. It was awesome.
Yeah? I think it's fun, though, to see a movie with a very packed theater. It took me a while to get back to that mindset after COVID.
Sure.
But I do like the energy of having a bunch of people in the audience.
No,
when
it
you're
was
in there by
fun.
yourself, it feels weird.
It was fun. Everyone was excited. You know, they had like all the appropriate reactions at the appropriate moments. So it was a fun watch in a packed theater for sure. And I think that movie financially is going to do quite well based on the interest I saw at the theater yesterday.
Was it, can I say this? I feel like a lot of the stuff they're touching on, it feels like a weird version of Spider-Man, but you seem to like it.
I did like it. I thought it was good. It was a nice break from this huge focus on the multiverse to just tell this sort of a bit more focused story. But it did have characters from elsewhere in the MCU in it. Like, I don't think it's a huge surprise to say that like Punisher's involved.
No, he's in all the trailers.
And I liked seeing him in a Spider-Man movie. It was like seeing the same character in a slightly different light. Like seeing Daredevil and She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Right? Same character, but different tone because it's different material. It's telling a different story. And so I actually really liked Punisher in the Spider-Man movie.
Do you not like him in the TV stuff?
No, I do. Okay. It's just very, very different.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Right. It's like the Punisher show is very like dark and like much more gritty, much more R, right? This was like when Netflix was doing like sort of like very grown up Marvel stuff. Mm-hmm. That's the era that Punisher comes out of.
It feels like it's actually more in line with the comic, but okay.
Yeah, but they managed to like update Punisher, keeping like the same actor and kind of like same character, but lighten the tone a little bit, right?
It feels more like a superhero.
Yeah,
in this one, yeah.
PG the tone.
Gotcha. More superhero, less vigilante.
Yeah, but I liked it, and I will also say that while technically speaking, everything in the trailers is in the movie, the trailer does not spoil the movie.
Oh, that's right.
It does not tell you everything that's going on, which is I thought was good. It also doesn't sell you the wrong movie. It's an interesting balance that they managed to strike.
So Ashley's spoiler-free review of Spider-Man Brand New Day. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up. Go see it.
And don't bother sticking around for the end credit scene.
Okay.
There's one, and it's at the very end, and it's not worth the time.
They got to stop doing those.
Yeah.
I secretly think that the theater employees must all hate those. They must.
Right, because it's like that much longer before they can go in and clear the room.
Well, it's like they're like, go, and then they probably have like 10 minutes before the next screening or something like that. Yeah. Okay, good. So don't stick around for the post-credit scene. You can always see those too.
Yeah, but it's online. Like this is one that like you don't need to worry that there's like some like major thing. It's not worth it.
Okay. All right. Well, good review. So listen, something that's come up quite a bit in our comments is that we're not talking about the Commonwealth Games, which are going on here in Scotland.
Yeah, they're going on in Glasgow right now.
Yeah, and I learned a new word. I learned a word for the events that happen once every 4 years. It's quadrennial. Makes sense.
Quadrennial.
I just had
Okay,
never heard it before.
that sounds like a math equation.
Quadrennial
Like,
equation.
like, how are you doing with your quadrennials? Are you learning that in school yet?
Takes you 4 years to solve the problem. Yeah, exactly.
Or is that like the lamest generation?
And so we honestly don't know much about it. I know that it's going on in Glasgow. That's about it, though.
It is. So, well, it's tricky because it actually wasn't supposed to be in Glasgow. Victoria, Australia was going to host it. This event that takes place every 4 years, and they were like, it's gotten too expensive, so we're just not going to do it. And they dropped out as the host city.
The host city dropped the event?
The host city dropped out.
How do you do that?
They're like, we just can't do it. And so Glasgow has hosted these Commonwealth Games before.
That's like you saying, like, our wedding's getting pretty expensive. Can someone else do our wedding for us? Is that an option to just drop out?
But we're still going to come.
I didn't even know that was on the menu.
We're still going to participate. We just don't want to host.
Yeah.
So if
we're still going to come. I love it.
Yeah. So, but Glasgow's hosted it before, so I guess they were like, well, we can do it again, but they had to pare it way down. So,
okay.
I think maybe part of the reason that it's we haven't heard so much about it, even though like we're here for this one, is that they've had to kill a lot of sports. They took like rugby and diving out.
Bummer.
So they went down to like 10 sports. It's like, track and field. And they've got some like judo, and they've got like some, like a couple of different things. And they got like gymnastics, all these things, but they had to take it way, way down.
Well, imagine if you're in that sport and this event comes up and they don't have it
for your year.
For your year. That would be actually a quadrennial heartbreak for those athletes. All right, but we're going to find out more about the Commonwealth Games over this weekend, so you should check it out if you want to. While we're talking about sports, though, can I talk about something that I'm fascinated by?
Please do.
I'm fascinated by two things. One, it's like it involves like a superstitious curse as well. But then also I discovered a sport that I didn't even know existed, which I thought would have been impossible at this point in time. It's not like a sport.
Is it shinty?
It's like not being played in like, the Middle East or something like that, or in India. It's being played in Ireland, and it's a huge sport. It's Gaelic football. I guess it's Ireland, so it'd be Gaelic football, which I don't even know how to describe this game, but it's the closest thing I've ever seen to it is Australian rules football.
Okay.
Which also has a weird place in my life. That sport, Aussie rules football, is that how most people say it?
Yeah.
That's the only sport where I've learned all of the rules to that sport and could appreciate it and watch it, and then have since forgotten all of the rules. Like I
every single one.
Now I'm like everybody else when I watch Aussie rules football because the guy who played Delta in Red vs. Blue, Mark Bellman.
Yeah.
Huge Aussie rules football
Really?
fan. Yeah, and he taught me all about it when we were in university. I could watch matches with him. And now I watch him like everybody else, like, why are they doing that? Why do they dribble the ball? Like they dribble a football.
And you're like, no, it's offside.
Or a rugby ball. Yeah. But so this county, I think, that won the championship for Gaelic football, they broke a curse, and this curse is absolutely fascinating to me. So they hadn't won for something like 70 years. And
it's a long time.
The reason why it's notable, first of all, because the local announcers who called it, we'll link it in the link dump. It's an amazing call. They're like all exasperated and screaming over each other. You hear one announcer losing his voice while he's making the call. But it was a big deal, too, because there was a curse because decades ago, they won a championship. And when they were having their parade to celebrate the championship, this is 75 years ago. This all is as an account by Furita on Reddit, who commented on the announcer call video that I'm talking about. He put it in context for everyone. I'm just going to read it. He said, for context, 75 years ago, Mayo won the same championship, and during the winning procession, there was also a funeral taking place at the same time. But the party went on, and the widow, then because she was upset about the funeral being interrupted,
by a party,
put a curse on Mayo that they would not win the All-Ireland again until every player of the current team was dead.
Okay, so question. Is every player from that era dead?
What followed? Mayo played a few finals during those 75 years and lost every single one. A few years back, in 2023-ish, the last player of the winning team died. The curse was then supposedly over. This is the first final they've played in since the last guy
And
died.
they won?
And they won. I love that. I love that so much. This old Irish widow is like, I curse you for 75 years. I love that kind of stuff.
Clearly, her rage was effective.
But please, you gotta go listen to that link in the linked up. Listening to these guys win after 75 years, they're just losing their
Big
minds.
deal, I'm sure.
All right, Ashley, who is helping us break our curse today?
Shout out to curse breakers Stefan and Taylor Morris. Thank you both so much for sponsoring this episode of our show at patreon.com/morningsomewhere and roosterteeth.com.
All right, that does it for us this month, ending July 31st, 2026. We will be back to talk to you on Monday. We hope you will be here as well.
Bye, everybody.